Hey everybody, I just wanted to check in with you guys real quick and let you know what's going on with the podcast. Good news is we got a logo now. Um, Shout out to my niece Brittany Barnett, who's in college in Arizona to become a graphic designer. She was able to put something together for me, which I think is awesome. So we're moving right along. But as we're in April now, I wanted to share with you. It's the month of the military child. April is, and I wanted to share with you a quick story about my son, Jackson, who's 12 years old, almost 13. Can't believe I'm about to have a teenager. But share with you a moment of vulnerability that he shared with me. And that vulnerability can come from a lot of places and times that might be unexpected. And as parents, we just got to be able to understand it and hopefully realize it and be able to react to it in a way that's beneficial to both parties, right? So, as a military child, it can be difficult, especially over the last 20 years of constant deployments. It's not unique to only the military child. Kids, have in all walks of life go through different things, and I think it's just important as parents that we are tuned to that, and hopefully we listen to them during those moments. So I'm driving Jackson to school one morning about 2 years ago. I just become a company first sergeant, and I had not a lot of mornings getting to drive Jackson to school, but I took advantage of one that I had. And I'm driving to school, and we're just talking about school and normal things that you talk about with your kids. And we kind of had a break in the conversation, and Jackson, completely unsolicited I know I didn't ask any questions that prompted this. He just said, "Hey, Dad, um, I don't want to move anymore, and I don't want you to deploy anymore." So, as you can imagine, I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I'm doing everything I can to keep the car in between the lines as I catch my breath and catch my thoughts. And I came to a realization at that point that, I came from a broken home where I was in and out with mom or dad during the summers and spring breaks. And I'm not comparing being in the military to being in a broken home, but there are some similarities with some inconsistencies in your life as a kid in both situations. And it dawned on me when I was in my teenage years, and I kind of said to myself one time, I'm never going to do this to my kids when I'm a father. I'm going to always be there for them. And just by byproduct of the profession that I chose and what had going on in the world at the time, I had started to do the exact same thing to my kids that had been done to me. I was a lot of inconsistency. I was gone a lot. They didn't get to talk to me for long periods of time, which was some similarities I had with my parents when I came up through, when they got divorced. And that's not a unique story to just me. That's a lot of people, but it really affected me and made me realize and kind of have to rethink everything for this. At the time, 10 or maybe 11-year-old to say that to his dad. Jackson's your typical preteen boy. Not a lot of words. Not a lot coming out of Jackson. You got to pry pretty much everything out of him for him to say that to me, unsolicited, just out of the blue, means he'd probably been stewing on it for a little while, or had that thought, or had that feeling that we were about to move again, or Dad was about to deploy again, and he just felt the urge to say something. And I heard him. I heard him loud and clear, and I changed my whole life trajectory. Kind of on that moment where I said, I'm gonna retire out of the Army at 20 years and try to give back to my family who's followed me around all this time and always been there for me. It's time for me to try to give back and be there for them and hopefully stabilize them. And I know there's no guarantees in life, and things will change, or I might have to go into a job where I am gone again or something, but I'm going to do everything I can to be more present for them for the foreseeable future. And I just tell you this again because vulnerability can come from anywhere. And on that day, it came from an 11-year-old boy who was tired of seeing his dad leave him, and it hit me in the heart. And I just hope that if you got kids out there, or someday you're going to have kids, just remember to actively listen to what they're saying, because there might be a moment that they say something that it was hard for them to say, that they worked up the courage to say. And as parents, we just need to make sure we're listening to it. And I say, I changed my whole trajectory. It was a family conversation between my wife and the other kids about me transitioning from service. But just be there for your kids. Listen to your kids. They are, young and moldable at that age. And even if I had stayed in, we would have had some conversations and done some explaining to them. But I chose a different path to just hopefully be with them and be more present with them. So looking forward to the conversations to come. Thanks for listening, and I'll check back with all of you guys soon. Talk to you later. Bye.